Hello friends and welcome back to another video. My name is Christy and here on my channel I love sharing the many projects I work on. Today's trash or treasure are these two small dressers. I purchased each of them for $30. I'm going to use them as my bedside tables. I want to do a two-tone look with them, so to get started I'm going to remove the hardware and clean the surfaces of the furniture. As you can tell, the two dressers are not the same. They're two different dressers. One is actually a little bit bigger than the other, but to unify these two pieces, I'm going to be painting them the same way, and I'm hoping that they will work together in the same space. Like I said, I want them as my bedside tables on my master bedroom, so I'm hoping that by painting them the same look, they will work together in the space. This wooden dresser was giving me a hard time. It had some stubborn grime, so I am using just some warm water and soap and a bristle brush to clean up, but I'm also going to be lightly sanding this piece. The mint piece was actually really clean and really easy to just clean up with a rag and with the warm water and soap, but this wooden piece was much older and it did have some stubborn grime, so I just lightly sanded it. I used 220 grit to just give it a light sanding. I'm using Sherwin Williams paint in Dover White, so I plan on painting the dresser white and then stripping the front of the drawers and leaving them raw. That's the two-tone look I'm going for, and you will see that I will run into some problems here in the video. I will share the problems that I ran into. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw the behind the scenes in this video. Here you can see that the wood stain was seeping through the white. It was actually staining the white. So I'm going to be using this stain blocker primer and giving the wooden dresser 2 coats before I proceed with the Dover White. I love that primer that I just shared before. It's just the best. Now this mint dresser covered perfectly because of the paint that was already on it. It was easy to just paint over this dresser, but this dresser right here really gave me such a hard time. The drawers actually did. So stay tuned to see the problems that come about with this dresser. For the two-tone look, I'm going to be stripping back the dresser fronts, the dresser drawer fronts to the raw wood color. The mint drawers didn't work out. It really just didn't work out. Whoever owned the dresser before had painted the dresser maybe 5 times. There was so many layers of paint on this piece, and also it wasn't even real wood, it was laminate, so it was pointless for me to strip back the paint. I didn't realize that till halfway through the project, and I was almost going to give up on that mint drawer dresser, but we pushed through and we found a solution to our problem. But the wooden dresser just turned out beautifully. It worked out without any bumps. It was just awesome. I love the way it turned out, and the mint dresser did follow, but it took a lot more elbow grease to get that piece to look the way we wanted it to look. But I'm glad it all turned out okay. I'm also going to be distressing both of the pieces. I know not everybody likes to distress their furniture, but knowing that this piece was going to be in my bedroom, I wanted to create it the way I wanted it to look. And I love distressing furniture. I really think that it brings out the detail in the piece when you distress it, and it is that farmhouse look that I love. So I'm using 220 grit sandpaper to lightly distress it. I'm barely applying any pressure. I'm really just lightly running the sander around the piece. I didn't want it to be like crazy distress, but I did want some distress. So I love distressing, and I love this orbital sander. I know a lot of you have asked me what piece of equipment do I recommend, those of you that are just starting out. And this orbital sander, I've bought it the first time I decided to do any furniture, and I've used this thing so much. So I highly recommend you go out and get yourself a orbital sander. It's the bomb. But here you're gonna see when I put in the drawers for this piece, it just looks amazing. It's exactly what I wanted for my bedside tables. It just looks so good. Now I'm going to be adding some knobs. If you follow me on Instagram, I put up a poll on these 2 knobs, and you guys decided on the chunky wood one, which was my favorite. I love the look of it. I thought it was just perfect for this dresser drawer. It looks great, and I'm so glad you guys went with that one because I love that knob. Both of the knobs I purchased from Hobby Lobby. They have a great selection, and they have them at 50% off every so often, and that's when I got these, and they looked so good. Now back to the mint drawer, the mint dresser. We're putting new fronts on the drawers. That's how we're going to make this thing work. We're going to put new fronts on it, and it also will look a lot like the other one because the other one was flat drawers, and this one will be the same, which will look great. And then I'm just going to be sanding it and staining it to match the other one, and it ended up working out. I was so glad we didn't give up on this piece. I was really so close to giving up because it was just giving me such a hard time. But I'm glad we just pushed through and it turned out great. But I'm so glad you are here watching this video. I hope this video motivated you to get up and try your hand at a painting project or a DIY project. If you notice here, my room looks a little bit different. So next week I will be sharing the bedroom makeover. I am so pumped up about it. It turned out awesome. But thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. And if you haven't already, click that red subscribe button and become part of the Has fam. We would love to have you here. All right, now for the before and afters.